Get ready for an exciting breakdown of the latest action from Cowboys training camp. In this video, we're spotlighting Mike Zimmer's defense, which is absolutely cooking during the blue and white scrimmage. How is Zimmer's defensive scheme shaping up, and what standout performances should you be watching for? We've got all the highlights and key moments you need to see. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the Dallas Cowboys. Hey there, Cowboys Nation! Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a diehard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. That's right, folks. The boys in blue are back in action, and the buzz around the star in Frisco is electric. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's going down at camp, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. You won't want to miss any of our Cowboys coverage as we march toward what could be a season for the ages. Now, let's talk about what everyone's been waiting for: the blue and white scrimmage. This annual event is always a highlight of training camp, giving us our first real look at how the team is shaping up. And let me tell you, if this scrimmage is any indication, the Dallas defense is going to be giving opposing offenses nightmares all season long. At the center of it all is the mastermind himself, Mike Zimmer. The veteran defensive coordinator has returned to Dallas, where he first made a name for himself 2 decades ago. And folks, it looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Zimmers Defense was the star of the show during the scrimmage, showcasing a level of intensity and complexity that had the offense on its heels for much of the day. Let's break down some of the key moments and takeaways from the scrimmage, shall we? First up, the defensive line. Oh boy, were they ferocious. Micah Parsons, last year's Defensive Player of the Year runner-up, was an absolute menace. He lined up all over the field, from edge rusher to inside linebacker, keeping the offense guessing on every snap. On one particular play, Parsons blew past the offensive line so quickly, Dak Prescott barely had time to turn around before he was met with a sea of navy blue. But it wasn't just Parsons making noise. DeMarcus Lawrence looked rejuvenated, bringing consistent pressure off the edge. And newcomer Stephon Gilmore, the former Defensive Player of the Year, was locking down receivers left and right. It's clear that Zimmer's scheme is allowing these stars to shine even brighter. Now, let's talk about the scheme itself. Zimmer is known for his aggressive, blitz-heavy approach, and we saw plenty of that during the scrimmage. But what really stood out was the unpredictability. One play, they'd show blitz and drop 8 into coverage. The next, they'd disguise a cover 2 look before bringing the house. It was a masterclass in keeping the offense off balance. High praise from a guy who knows a thing or two about making plays on defense. And speaking of playmakers, how about rookie defensive tackle Mazi Smith? The first-round pick out of Michigan was an absolute force in the middle, consistently pushing the pocket and disrupting run plays. It's early, but Smith looks like he could be the interior presence this defense has been missing. On one particular play, Smith bull rushed his way through the offensive line, forcing Prescott to scramble. That's when Parsons, coming off the edge, was able to chase Dak down for what would have been a sack in a real game situation. It's that kind of complementary play that has Cowboys fans salivating at the potential of this defense. But it wasn't just the big names making an impact. Second-year safety Marquise Bell had himself a day, intercepting a Cooper rush pass and returning it for what would have been a pick 6. Bell's development could be key for a secondary that's looking to take the next step under Zimmer's tutelage. High praise from the man in charge. But let's dive a little deeper into what makes Zimmer's defense so effective. It all starts with his philosophy of putting players in the best position to succeed. He's not trying to force square pegs into round holes. Instead, He's tailoring his scheme to the strengths of his personnel. Take Micah Parsons, for example. Zimmer is using him in a variety of ways, much like he did with Anthony Barr during his time as head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. One play, Parsons might be rushing off the edge. The next, he could be dropping into coverage or spying the quarterback. This versatility keeps offenses guessing and allows Parsons to make the most of his incredible athleticism. In the secondary, Zimmer is known for his complex coverage schemes. We saw a lot of pre-snap movement during the scrimmage, with safeties and corners constantly shifting positions. This makes it incredibly difficult for quarterbacks to diagnose what coverage they're facing. That's the kind of attitude you love to see from your quarterback. And Doc's right, facing this defense day in and day out is only going to benefit the offense in the long run. Now, let's talk about some of the specific plays that stood out during the scrimmage. One sequence in particular really showcased the potential of this defense. It was during a red zone drill. The offense had 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. On 1st down, Zimmer dialed up a disguised blitz. Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch showed blitz pre-snap, but both dropped into coverage at the snap. Instead, safety Jaron Kearse came flying in on a delayed blitz, forcing Prescott to throw the ball away. On 2nd down, the defense showed the same look, but this time they actually brought the heat. Parsons and Lawrence both got pressure, collapsing the pocket and forcing a hurried throw that fell incomplete. 3rd down is where things got really interesting. Zimmer sent out a dime package with 6 defensive backs. The offense, expecting another blitz, kept extra blockers in to protect. But instead of blitzing, the defense dropped 8 into coverage. Prescott, with nowhere to throw, eventually tried to force a pass into tight coverage. That's when Trayvon Diggs made a spectacular play, diving to knock the ball away and prevent the touchdown. That sequence right there encapsulates what makes Zimmer's defense so dangerous. The unpredictability, the ability to disguise coverages, and the talent to execute at a high level. It's a potent combination that could make this Cowboys defense one of the best in the league. But it's not just about the X's and O's. What really stood out during the scrimmage was the energy and communication on the defensive side of the ball. Players were flying around, making plays, and most importantly, having fun. That competition Quinn mentioned was on full display during the scrimmage. Young players like Israel Mukuamu and Darren Bland were making plays in the secondary, pushing the veterans for playing time. On the defensive line, guys like Chauncey Golston and Sam Williams were bringing consistent pressure, showing that the Cowboys' pass rush is more than just Parsons and Lawrence. This depth is going to be crucial as we head into the season. The NFL is a war of attrition, and having quality backups who can step in and contribute is often the difference between making a deep playoff run and watching from home in January. Speaking of depth, there was one concerning moment during the scrimmage. Veteran cornerback Jordan Lewis, who's coming off a season-ending foot injury, appeared to tweak something during team drills. He left the field under his own power, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on as we move closer to the regular season. But even with Lewis sidelined, the secondary didn't miss a beat. That's a testament to the depth Zimmer and the Cowboys have built on the back end. With players like Gilmore, Diggs, Kearse, and Malik Hooker leading the way, this could be one of the best secondaries in the league. That's going to do it for this video, folks. What do you think about the Cowboys' defense under Mike Zimmer? Are you as excited as I am, or are you taking a more cautious approach? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll be bringing you coverage of Cowboys training camp all month long, so you won't want to miss a single video.